Welcome back, everybody. We have items on President Biden's banking plan, more legislation fighting against vaccine mandates, and illegal poultry workers. I'm Mike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama recently introduced a banking bill as a counter to a controversial effort by the Biden administration, and it's been blocked by Senate Democrats. Now, Biden's plan would require banks to report transactions of $600 or more to the IRS. Although much higher figures have been discussed in Congress, U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said the figure is negotiable. Critics of the plan are calling it a burden on banks and credit unions and an invasion of privacy. The Treasury Department has estimated the measure could raise about $460 billion over 10 years. The thought there is that there's taxable money sneaking by, and the revenue off taxing that money would pay for some of the Democrats' social spending plans. AL.com's Greg Garrison reports that Senator Tuberville and some of the state's bankers met outside Birmingham's Protective Stadium this week to criticize the plan. Now, said Tuberville of his own Protecting Financial Privacy Act, "We're just trying to put pressure on the Democrats, saying the American people don't want it." Grace Newcomb is the Director of Federal Advocacy for the Alabama Credit Union Association. Quote, "Forcing credit unions to comply with this additional reporting requirement would be costly to all credit unions and would be nearly impossible for the small credit unions who lack the dozens of compliance lawyers and staff that some larger institutions employ." End quote. COVID numbers are falling in Alabama, but the pushing and pulling over vaccine mandates are continuing. It's certainly been a topic at concerts and festivals around the state. AL.com's John Sharp reports that Fairhope's Film Festival had announced it would require vaccination. But the organizers removed that announcement when it was suggested to the city that it pull its sponsorship of the festival over the mandate. You see, Alabama has already put into law a vaccine passport ban that attempted to stop businesses from denying services based on immunization status. But events such as Birmingham's Sidewalk Festival have used a loophole in the law by giving people the option of proving vaccination status or showing a negative COVID test. So enter HB 31. Now that's a bill announced by the nonprofit Health Freedom Alabama that would consider the COVID vaccinated a protected class. Think race or religion here. And it attempts to shield the unvaccinated from what Health Freedom Alabama co-director Casey Cavender called discrimination of any kind, which could also prevent venues and festivals from requiring proof of a negative test. Now, the group says that the legislation states that federal vaccine mandates won't be recognized by the state. Now, if this passes, you can probably look for a supremacy clause fight over that. We could see the proposal make a run during a special session on reapportionment if supporters have the supermajority required for passage during a special session. A federal court has found an Alabama couple guilty of supplying a poultry plant with workers who are in the U.S. illegally, reports AL.com's Howard Koplowitz. The couple, Dave and Marquitos Escalante Vasquez and Crystal Gale Escalante, were subcontracted to provide line workers at Marjack Poultry in Jasper, Alabama. They were found guilty of conspiracy to transport illegal aliens within the United States and money laundering. The district attorney said many of the immigrants they used were from Guatemala and had been using fake IDs. And the couple tried changing their names to get them through the E-Verify system, and even when they couldn't get them through, they kept them on the payroll anyway. The two also owned several vans in which they would transport the workers to the plant. The couple made more than $16 million over 3 years. Thank y'all for listening. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Until then, stop by and see us anytime you can on the internet at al.com.